demonstration. So yes, I will share.
Awesome. All right. Well, let me do that.
And while you're doing that,
While
Michael,
I'm doing that, Justin, why don't you introduce yourself?
sure. Full disclosure, we are in full-on allergy season here in Virginia Beach, so I'm gonna get through as much of this as I can without coughing and sneezing all over you guys. For those of you who
Justin, just remember, please, that you're the host, so that other people are trying to join in. If you could let them in, that would be great.
Ooh, good call, good call. So I need to pull up participants, right? Kind of keep an eye on the queue.
Yeah, it should pop up something that says somebody's trying to be in it. But
okay, will do. I can multitask.
all yours, man, all yours.
All right, thank you, Michael. So for those of you who have not met me or been in one of my presentations before, my name is Justin Grant. I am a managing broker of our Great Neck office in Virginia Beach. We have 5 Virginia Beach offices, so I manage one of those. I've been with the company for 8 years. I have been in this role for the past 3 years, and very excited to be here today to talk to you about website admin. So I know you guys are getting a lot of information over the course of the last couple of weeks, and we'll continue to get information over the next couple of weeks. Believe me, I know it's a lot. It's a lot to digest. It's a lot to chew on. We're here for you as a resource. So just like my last session, I'll be happy to provide my contact information, email address, telephone number. So if you have questions after this presentation, you are more than welcome to reach out to me as a resource for that. So today we're going to talk about getting your website up and running. And guys, I'll tell you, you probably have a website already that's going to be merging into the Howard Hanna website. Your website is very, very important. That is the face of your business, especially for those people who don't already know you. And I'll give you an example. When I have a client who's looking to relocate to another area, or they have a house to sell in another area, one of the first things I do is go into our partner firms, excuse me, through Leading RE, and I pull up their agent website, right, their roster. And I just start going through the roster and I start looking at their profiles. Who's got a picture that they look happy they woke up that day? Who's got reviews on their website that their clients are saying good things about them? Your website is the face of your business, and whether you know it or not, people are making decisions about whether or not they want to work with you based on your website. So I'm going to start by saying it's important to have a professional photography or a professional photo for your website. I see a lot of, and I'm going to say this with the caveat of you guys are going to look at my photo and you're going to laugh, and I'll tell you why you're going to laugh when we get there. But make sure you have a professional photo. Make sure that photo is not from 1980. I see a lot of that in our region as well. And you guys are going to call me a little bit of a hypocrite when we get to, when we get to my website. But I just want to start by saying your website is so important. So thank you for taking the time today to sit down with me and go over this. I want this to be interactive. I want you guys to ask questions. I don't want to talk at you for an hour. I don't want to put you to sleep. So if you have questions, stop me. And if I'm going too fast, slow me down. If there's something you don't understand, just let me know, okay? Thumbs up, we're good? Awesome. All right, I'm going to share my screen, and Michael, I'll do my best to keep track of people trying to come in while my screen is shared. I don't deal with the waiting room a lot, so that's kind of new to me. All right, by now you guys should all have access to Go Hanna and be somewhat familiar with how to navigate that, right? Thumbs up. With the exception of David, who is brand new to the business. So welcome, David. All right, so this is our Go Hanna portal. This is where you're going to access really anything and everything that you need as an agent with Howard Hanna. You've got Hanna presentations, you've got your e-cards, you've got your mail out postcards, you've got your website admin, you've got your relocation services, anything and everything that you need as an agent is really going to be housed in this Go Hanna portal, okay? We're going to talk about a very, very small piece of this portal, a very important piece, but just one very small piece of this portal, which is your agent website. There's a couple of ways to access most of the sites within Go Hanna. The easiest way is going to be to go straight here to my website admin and click on that. If for some reason you forget that part, you can also go up to Agent Tools and scroll down to Website Admin in the drop-down list, okay? So that's step one. We're going to go into your website admin. My portal is going to look a little bit different as a manager because I see everyone's website in my office. You as an agent are only going to have access to your websites and your content. But this is going to bring you to your dashboard and kind of show you your property inventory stats, maintaining your properties, and you guys will not have agent stats. This is my roster: 45 active websites and 66 inactive agents, which really just shows agents who have either stepped out of the business, relocated, whatever. So on my office, we have 45 agents. And all of their websites are active. So step one, website admin. Step two is going to be to go up here to your profile, and you're going to click agent maintenance. Okay, this is going to take you to your websites. For me, it takes me to a list of my agents. So I'm going to click on my website. I'm going to click edit. And this is why you're going to laugh at me for my photo. When I started this job, I had hair. This photo is only about 5 years old, but obviously it looks a little different now. I am in the process of getting a new photo. But I do want to note that, my photo is not overly flashy. It's warm, it's inviting. I look like I was happy to wake up that day and do real estate. I see some scary photos out there, guys. Please make sure you have a professional photo that's warm, inviting, welcoming, and says, you know what, I want to do business with you. I want to do business with your clients. Not only that, I'm going to take great care of them, okay? So let's go down the list here. You've got your agent code. This is generated by the company. That's not really anything that you're going to need or have to create yourself. You've got your name, first name, last name. If you go by a nickname or you have a DBA on file with DPOR, you can put your nickname here and then click this button if you want to use your nickname in place of your first and last name. So for instance, I have an agent in my office. Her name is Gina Joseph and her DBA is Gigi. So she's got Gigi Joseph in here. She's clicked the button when clients go to her website. They see her as Gigi Joseph. Okay, so if you've got a nickname or a DBA, you would enter that there. It's going to show your branch and your title in the website. And then you also have a section here where you can enter in your designations. So I've got Realtor, CSP, MRP, SFR, Certified New Home Sales Professional, Military Relocation Specialist, and Short Sale and Foreclosure Resource. So those are my designations. You can add your own if you've got a catchy slogan that you want to drop in here. Justin Grant, I'll get you moving, whatever your catchy slogan is. You've got an opportunity to add that to your website. If you speak multiple languages, I really encourage you to put this in here. Our relocation department looks at this when they are referring agents, clients to agents, and that client speaks dual language. Maybe English is not their first language. So they can go in and you still want to make sure that relocation knows that you speak multiple languages. But definitely go in here and list any languages that you speak. I've got a couple of agents that speak French, Spanish. I've got one agent that speaks Mandarin. So make sure people know that. That's important, especially in our town. We're a military town. Really nobody's from here. They're just all here because of the military, and they come from all over the world. So make sure people know that you could be a resource for them to work with. Okay. Specialties, you guys can go in here and choose from a list of specialties. I would say don't overdo this, guys. Don't pick 20 specialties because at that point it's not a specialty, right? You're just kind of a jack of all trades. So I've got in here first-time home buyers, investors, military, new construction, and residential. That's what I consider my specialties because that was the bulk of my business when I was a sales agent. I really enjoyed working with first-time home buyers, first and foremost, because they listen to you, right? They kind of need you a little bit more than that seasoned seller or buyer, and I appreciated that. Investment properties, that was something I kind of came into later in my career in sales, creating portfolios for clients who wanted to buy apartment buildings was their forte. So now they're in the process of divesting that portfolio and getting rid of it and moving into more of the commercial realm. Military relocation, obviously we have a lot of that in my area. I did 4 years in new construction, which I loved. And of course, residential is just kind of your catch-all. But you guys have a lot of different options here: acreage, commercial, country property. You guys are out in wine country. custom homes, dream homes, executive homes, land, see property management, quality homes, retirement, waterfront properties. So you have a lot of different options here. So let people know what it is that you do and that you specialize in, okay? Featured properties. If you guys have listings, your listings are gonna pop up here, and I'll show you what that looks like here in a little bit. And really, let me back up. I really should have shown you guys what the website looks like when the clients or someone else views it, right? So your website is always going to be your first and last name .howardhanna.com, okay? And so this is my website. You've got your photo, you've got your name, your office, your title, contact me button. If you scroll down here, you can search properties that are active on the market. And then you got your tabs up here. So property search, which is this function right here. Your about me section, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. It has your contact information, your office address, and your bio that you put in. The Hanna Advantage, so you've got some information here about the company, one-stop shopping, our seller programs, executive buyer programs, or exclusive buyer programs, and some videos here with more information on that, okay? Fair housing, we want to make sure we're compliant with fair housing, so we've got that information on our website. Your reviews, if you have reviews, would show here. Hopefully I've got some good reviews that are going to pop up. Actually, none of them popped up. Oh, there they go. Very helpful. So see, there you go. It's a good review. Let's see, your listings and your sales. Obviously, I'm a non-competing broker. I don't have any listings, so there's nothing going to show here. And then my sales. This doesn't go back any certain period of time, guys. This really just kind of shows all of your last sales. This is my property that I sold last year, an investment rental that I had. And then you'll see my last sales are from really 2018 through 2017. These are all new construction properties. And the pictures have come out of the MLS, so the photo link is broken. But I've got three pages here of listings or sales that I've sold over the course of the last few years between 2017 and 2018. So your sales and your listings will show up here as well. And then what's my home worth? I'm sure you guys have done some training on this. If you didn't, I actually did some training on this that I believe was recorded. So if you have a chance, you want to go back and take a look at that. You've got a link here, which takes you to what's my home worth, which incorporates into buy side. So I did the buy side training with you guys a couple of weeks back. And then let's see, this little menu bar is in my way. Okay. And then you have neighborhood news. So neighborhood news is a subscription within Engage. Michael, have you guys done the Engage training? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So neighborhood news is a subscription within Engage that sends an email out on a monthly basis with market data for their zip code, right?
Justin, let me interrupt you for a second. Again, folks, all of these classes are in your AHA segment. You can go back and watch any of these at your leisure. And then, of course, there's all sorts of tutorials in GoHanna as well to help you go through them if you haven't already. So, and
right.
Vincent, there's still a few spots for the in-person training on the 28th, correct?
I believe so. Yes, I spoke to.
No, hang on a second. I was asking Vincent.
Oh, yeah. There is a couple spots. I did close it out, but no one's emailed me since then. But I think there's 13, and we've got a heavy day on the 27th. So
yeah, full day on 27th, 28th. If you're interested, I think that's a Thursday. No, it's a Wednesday, right?
it's a Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Wednesday. If you're interested, Engage is in the morning, and then Hanna presentations are in the afternoon. So there's still a couple spots. You guys get a chance to sign up for those because you're in this class today.
Awesome. Sorry, Michael, I thought you said Ben Fuller, which I believe you guys heard.
Ben's coming up to do it. That's right.
Is he doing Zoom or he's coming to Charlottesville?
No, he's coming to Charlottesville to do in-person training for us.
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have to ask him where my invite was because I did not get notified about that. So Ben is very good at what he does, so I'm sure you guys will learn a lot. All right. And Michael, thank you for bringing that up again. I know we've been throwing a lot of information at you guys, and I really encourage you to go back and rewatch some of these sessions. Go in, play around with it. Write your questions down. Go back in, watch the video again. Reach out to us as a resource. There's a lot of information in here, and the Howard Hanna program platform is so tech heavy. You can really do anything and everything that you want. You just can't, it's hard to digest all at once, right? So you got to kind of take it in bite-sized pieces. All right, sure, go ahead.
Before I get too far away and I forget my question, on our sales, do those, our previous sales, do those go on automatically, or are we supposed to?
They do. So this is integrated into the MLS that you are associated with. So you guys are not going to have to go in and manually add these. So as you close properties out, they're going to show here. As you list properties, they're going to show here as well. Great question, Barb.
Oh, thanks.
All right. Any other questions before we move back over into the editing portion? All right. Sorry, guys. I really should have started with that, huh? All right. So now this is going to make a little bit more sense. You've got your name, your nickname, your designation, slogan, languages, specialties. If you have listings that are active and you want to feature those and bring those to the top of the list on your landing page, you would simply search the listing address and select it, and then that would create a featured listing on your web page. Okay. Again, I'm a non-competing broker, don't have any listings, so that's why I don't have any options here, no data found. Okay. Please make sure that you go in and you check the boxes for your mobile number. And if you have a fax number or a home phone that you want to add here, if you guys don't check this box and you don't add a number, then your cell phone is not going to show up on your website, okay? And we want that traffic, we want those buyers and sellers directed back to you and not necessarily calling the office. If they call the office, that's great, but the goal here is to get them directly to you, okay? Listing MLS ID. I honestly don't know if you guys are going to have this option as an agent. If you do, then once you're issued, so for like David coming in as a brand new agent, once you're issued an MLS ID, you would go in and here and enter your MLS ID, which is your direct IDX feeds to Barb's question, so that the system can pull directly from the MLS and it's not a manual process, okay? And then of course you have your social media links. I only have Facebook, but if you've got Instagram, actually I have LinkedIn, I just haven't added the website. Pinterest, Twitter, or YouTube link, you guys can enter in all of your social media links here and they will have direct access to that on your landing page, okay? And then last but not least, just for the profile information, you've got a description and agent bio. The description is what's going to show in your About Me section, that tab at the top of your website. Your agent bio, this is going to get a little bit more in depth if you want it. You guys will notice I actually have the same information in both fields. The agent bio is what's going to populate in Hanna presentations when you're adding your agent bio to your presentation. Make sense? So again, description is going to add to the About Me section on your website. Agent bio is going to add to your description on Hanna presentations when you add that slide agent bio to your listing presentations, okay? I encourage you guys to be personable. People want to see us as real people. It doesn't have to be all about real estate. It can be about your life and your experience and your travels and your family and anything that someone could relate to. I encourage you guys to be personable here, be relatable, and give that client the opportunity to make a connection with you, okay? When I first got into the business, I was very cut and dry on Facebook. I didn't put a lot of stuff out there. I didn't show personality. It was, here's my listing, here's my open house, here, congratulations on my closing. And then I realized people wanted to see me in my day-to-day activities. They wanted to be able to laugh at me about, stupid things I did going to the grocery store that day. And so just keep that in mind. Keep it real, keep it professional, but don't make it all about real estate, okay? Any questions so far? We got a couple more things I want to go over with you guys. We're good? Am I putting anybody to sleep? Okay, good. Let's see. So the next thing I want to talk about is your content. We're going to go back up here to the top under settings. Always make sure that you have allowed dynamic property URLs checked. When you get a listing, you will get a custom URL for that listing, and it will show on your website. So that's something that you can share to social media if you want to drop it into, say, a postcard. And that way you don't have a really long, 27 character URL for that new listing. You've got a specialized URL that's kind of abbreviated, that's easy if someone has to manually type it in. So make sure that that's checked, and always make sure that display my website, view my website, call to action in your profiles navigation is selected as well. If you're a homes of distinction agent, you want to make sure that you check that. I'm not eligible as a manager, as you can see, it says no thank you. And then if you want to hide sold listings, you can do that as well. So let's say maybe you don't have any sales and you don't want, say, clients going in, a prospective client going in and seeing a big fat zero there. You can check this to hide your sales. Just don't forget to uncheck it once you do have some sales history. Be proud of that history and your experience and showcase that on your website. But it does give you the option to hide it. Okay, I'm going to go into edit agent sites, and this is going to give me a little bit more data and options to change around. So again, your website should always be first and last name.howardhanna.com. I don't recommend you have your website redirected anywhere, but you do have the option to choose what people land on when they click on your website. So they can either land on your homepage, which is what you guys saw when I pulled up my website, or they can land on the About Me section, which is a little bit more personal. So it's completely up to you. And then if you change this, don't forget to click update, otherwise it won't take. Facebook Pixel ID, Vincent could probably tell you guys a little bit more about this than I could. I know that there's some tracking in terms of how many hits to your website, stats for you to use. I'm honestly not well versed in that. Vincent, are you?
Facebook, we do have that. It is Facebook is like a tracking set, a piece of code. And what that does is it tells you if you run a Facebook ad, let's say, and it directs to your web page, it tells you the analytics of that activity.
Awesome. Which is important data. You want to make sure that your investments, if you're doing these Facebook ads, are worth it. And if you're spending $100 a month on ads and you're not generating any traffic, then redirect that $100 somewhere else. So important information. I think it's great that the website gives you the ability to link this to Facebook Pixel to track that traffic. Okay. And then site design. So you guys have several templates that you can choose from. There's 4 in here. You guys saw mine, which is the default design. So if you're going into different agents' websites within Howard Hanna, and you're noticing they look a little bit different on each page for each agent, this is why. So this is what your home page looks like on the default design, your listings page, your sales page, and your content pages. If I were to change this to design 1, you'll see that the home page changed, the listing and sales page changed, as well as the content page. So that's design 1. This is design 2. And that's design 3. So not a lot of difference between the 4 designs, but we wanted to give you the option to personalize this a little bit and not have everyone, looking the same on their website. So do we have a question, Barb?
I have one more question.
Sure.
On our sales, is it only our listings that have sold, or if we've had the buyer's side?
That's a great question. It should be both. So it should be your buyers and it should be your listings as well.
Okay, good.
Yep, good question. All right, we are doing really good on time, you guys. One of the last things that I want to go over is content. So we've talked about your profile and the information that you have out there. You also have the ability to edit your content. And what do I mean when I say that? Content are these tabs up here. So this is information that you can link to your website for prospective clients to land on. So if I go back into administration and click on manage my content, actually, let me go back. I'm going to back up a little bit. We're going to get there, I promise, but I'm actually going to go back up into agent. Actually, let's see where we're going to go back into profile. So where we started, I'm going to click on this link. This is going to take me back to where I was. And I am going to, hold up. That is not where I wanted to go. Okay. Not sure what I clicked on this morning. So we'll roll with this. I'll backtrack and I'll get to where I was going to go with this in just a little bit. So your content pages, of course, you've got your about me, your listings, your reviews, your sales, and your neighborhood news. We saw all of those. You guys can go in and edit these content pages, right? The ones that are pre-populated and default with Howard Hanna, there's really not much that you're going to be able to do with them. But let's say I wanted to add a page to this website. Let me give you an example. So you guys are going to be meeting Ben Fuller here in the next couple of days, right? And so Ben's website, he's gone in, he has a different template than I do. So his landing page looks a little different, but he's got this little button over here that I don't have, which is my pages. And he's got my Hanna View, Bayview, Ocean View, housing, market, and community info. He's got community links, things to do in coastal Virginia, and my local service vendors. These are all pages that I don't have on my website because I haven't added them. Ben has added these pages and he's gone in and he's customized them. So let's start with my Hanna View. So he's got a page here with just some photos of the area, maybe for clients that are coming in from out of town, maybe military relocation or vacation home, second home buyers, and they want a little bit more information, you know, on what the area looks like. He's only got a few photos in here, but you guys can totally customize this and make it whatever you want. Bayview, Ocean View, market, housing. So he's got a little map here of Bayview and Ocean View, which is a small pocket of Norfolk and within Hampton Roads. You've got hyperlinks here that you can click on for housing and marketing updates, be a part of our community. He's got Civic League information in here, and then some very vintage photos of what Ocean View and Bayview looked like back in the day, right? So just a couple, and this is a market that Ben focuses on. So when we talk about branding, you know, let's say you want to be in a luxury brand or you want to be the go-to realtor in a certain neighborhood. This is a way to do that. This is a way to brand yourself as that Bayview, Ocean View experts, right? So Ben likes to focus a lot of his marketing efforts in this area. I've got another agent that does primarily Chicks Beach, and 90% of what she does is in Chicks Beach, and she does $8 million a year there. She's been very successful at it. So this is a way to brand yourself in a certain niche within the market, if that is what you want to accomplish, okay? Community links, I really like this. He's got links in here for Virginia Beach Public School Systems. He's got links in for the pilot, direct links to the city of Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Portsmouth, Suffolk, flood zone information. And then he's got some information, lead-based paint. Chesapeake Bay Preservation Act is really big here in terms of what you can and can't do. Cutting down trees, building, developing land. He's got information on transportation. So there's and then a direct link to our in-house mortgage loan officer, so Bubba's website. So ton of information in here. And this is easy conversations when you're talking to someone, they say, gosh, you know, I really just don't know where to get started. You give them your website and you give, you know, tell them click on the My Pages tab and go to community links. And that's a great place to get started. A ton of information for them to go to. You guys all know we can't talk about, you know, what we think is a good school district or a safe neighborhood, but you can add links to the school systems and to the crime stats here and say, you know what, go to my websites, do your research. You've got links to all the information that you need. And then we're directing them back to a resource where they can also look at property. By the way, guys, the main goal here behind the website, I'm going to go back to the property search. Actually, because I'm in admin view, it's going to be a little bit wonky. The main goal here is to drive traffic back to you as an agent. So you guys notice no matter what page I'm on, I've got this I have questions tab right here, this little box. If they put in their name, their email, their telephone number, and a description, and they request agent follow-up, that comes directly to you as the agent. Okay, that does not come to the office. That does not come to me as the brokers. You know, we'll get CC'd on it saying that you received an IDX feed from the website so that we can make sure that you guys are following up with that. But this whole purpose is to drive traffic and generate business back to you as the agent. Okay. I don't know much about the brokerages in your area, but I know there are a lot of brokerages in my area where if you go onto their website and you look at their agent profiles, there's no contact information, there's no contact form, there's no cell phone numbers for you to reach that agent. So our model, our business model is not to generate leads and income for the office, for the company. It's to generate leads and income for you as an agent. Okay, so I use this in recruiting a lot. And I would say, listen, I don't know what companies you're interviewing with, doesn't matter, but please go to their website, pull up their agents roster and look at that and look to see where those clients are being driven. Because when you land on that page, you're seeing the same thing that a prospective client is seeing. And if they don't have a cell phone number or a way to contact that agent directly, then that lead is going back to the office. And you know, that's not our business model. We want to generate leads and business for our agents. So no matter what page you're on within this site, you're going to have this little contact button. Even on the reviews sites, the My Listing site, they've always got an opportunity to get back to you. All right, so we talked about the My Pages. I'm going to show you guys how to create and how to add pages, okay? And really, there's no limit to what you can add here. I will say that when you make changes to your website, so when you're updating your contact information, when you're adding pages, whatever the case may be, there's going to be a button that says save or update. From there, that goes to your manager. Your manager is going to get an email saying that Barb has updated her website and is pending approval, right? So we have to physically go in and review that information and make sure that it complies with fair housing, with the real estate board rules and regulations, with company policy, and then we have to physically publish that update. So if you go on, you make a change and you don't see it right away, that's why. All that I ask is be patient. Give it 24 hours for your manager at least to go in and review the changes and update that. But I wanted to mention that before we move on. All right, so let's talk about how to add these pages. So I'm going to go back into administration. And of course, we've got the standard tabs here, but you've got a button up here at the top that says add a new page, right? So I'm going to go in, I'm going to add a new page, and I'm going to call it community resources, okay? And then all I've got to do is change this section right here where it says enter page name here, and I'm going to add in community resources. Uppercase, lowercase, doesn't matter. And then I'm going to click save. And then I'm going to go back into my website and I'm going to refresh this. I wonder if I have to approve my own changes. That is a conundrum, isn't it? Let's see here. Let's actually close. Guys, I just did this morning. I promise you it does work. But of course, now I have an audience and technology and it's not going to work. Actually, let's
try holding down shift and then hit refresh. Shift, refresh.
Interesting.
That kind of breaks the cache.
Did not know that. See, even I'm learning something today.
And another thing is in the browser, you can type in a bunch of numbers and letters and then question mark and hit enter. It's the same thing. Couple tips.
Interesting. So we're going to try this a different way. What I did was I went into content and I went into agent content again. Yours is going to look different because you're only going to have access to yours. I'm going to go back into mine and I'm going to look at the pages and make sure that that was added. So I do have community resources here. So I can view and edit the content from this page while it is apparently deciding whether or not it's going to show up on my website. But guys, you can enter in hyperlinks here. You can enter in photos. You can enter in text. I mean, this does take some creativity and some time to build and put together. I recommend if you're not, as tech savvy, maybe start this in Word, copy and paste it over into this field here. But this is how Ben built those pages. He created hyperlinks to, go to the public school system. He dropped in photos of maps for the area, photos of the area. You guys can go in and customize this for, titles, make it bold, underline. Anything you want to drop into here, you can. And you can create as many of these pages as you want. So what happens when you create a page, this neighborhood news section gets replaced with a drop-down menu. For my pages. So neighborhood news is still there. It's here at the bottom, but these are all the pages that Ben has added. Any questions on that? No, pretty straightforward. All right, the last thing that I want to mention before I let you go, so I'm going to go back into profiles, agent maintenance. There's a couple of different ways to change actually, let me do this really quick. See if I populate. No, I do not populate for pending changes. That is interesting. The other way to edit your website, guys, if you go in and you see your list here, you can click just edit. And that will bring, nope, that's not what I want to do. Agent site, sorry. That's not right either. Sorry guys, it's been a long time since I've edited a website. So you guys can go in. Gosh, and that's not working either. Usually I can go directly into the website and I can edit the content kind of in real time, right? So I can click on this, make my changes, and then go up. There should be a menu bar that populates here in gold with an option to publish the page. So that would save any changes that you have, send it to your manager for approval.
Justin, you have to be logged in to do this?
You need to be, yeah, you're gonna have to be logged in to Go Hanna to access the agent website admin.
Right.
Yep.
But on the actual site itself, because there's a login. Oh, you are logged in. Sorry, it's in yellow. Sorry. Yeah.
Yes. So when you go in through Go Hanna, it's automatically going to log you in to the
single
website.
sign in, right?
Single sign on. Yes. We try to make it easy.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, guys, for a lot of this stuff, like email. So if you go back into Go Hanna, you've got a little mail tab here. Single sign on that should, I operate off of a 365 platform. So this is going to redirect me to 365 because I'm an employee, but this should link you back directly to your website without making you sign it again. So all of this should really be a single sign on. So that's a great question, Vincent. All right. Any other questions, guys, about the website? It's pretty straightforward. Really you want to make sure you've got your contact information on there, some relatable information about you. You want to make sure that your presence and your brand on your website is warm, inviting, professional, happy more than anything, and that you have those nuggets of information that people are going to connect with. Maybe someone comes on and they're first-time home buyers and they say, oh gosh, Justin specializes in first-time home buyers. That's me. Let's give them a call. But just make sure that your profile gives a good depiction of who you are as a person and who you are as a professional.
One thing I'd like to add for our agents is the use of keywords in your bio.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
So that is very important because this also functions as a magnet for visibility, SEO online. So be sure and use the word Charlottesville at least
Yep.
once, right? And what you specialize in, as well as in the specialty section, as well as in the paragraph itself, and anything else you can kind of string in there that sounds like a human. You can read it. It doesn't sound like a robot, because Google's pretty smart when they
Right.
spider this thing. But keywords are very important. So this will also help your business.
That's a great point, Vincent. So, back to my agent that specializes in primarily Chicks Beach area where she lives, she would want to make sure she goes in and throughout her description talks about, lived in Chicks Beach for 30 years, love the neighborhoods and all that Chicks Beach has to offer. I mean, you don't want to overdo it. But when people are going in to Google and they're searching real estate in Chicks Beach, you want Janine to pop up to the top because her whole concept of her website is real estate. And she's mentioned Chicks Beach in there a couple of times. So that's a great
exactly
point.
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And when you think of keyword, it's not just singular as one word. It could be a phrase as well. So
Right.
think of like specializing in Ivy Farms and Estates in Charlottesville, right? So that's a keyword: farms and estates in Ivy, Charlottesville. So anyway, my
Awesome.
10 cents before you go to the beach.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you, Barb.
Yeah, thank you.
You're on mute, Barb. Sorry.
I just noticed in yours, you have a couple times realtor with the little thingy.
Yep.
That just come up automatically when we type realtor with the capital letter?
It does not. So you have to actually do it on a keyboard, and you're going to push and hold the Alt button. You have to have a numpad. So the numpad is the little square numbers. You can't use the numbers across the top of the keyboard. So you're going to push and hold the Alt button and hit 0174 and release both.
Okay.
Alternatively, you can find the registered trademark logo on Google and just copy and paste it.
Yeah.
probably the easiest way.
Okay.
Just call Ben at any time of the day for that code again. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. That's a great question. Thank you for asking that. And that's another reason, guys, that the websites come to us as a manager to review. We want to make sure that we've got, those registered trademarks in place, that, it's being used appropriately. Realtor is always a capital R. So that's why it comes to us before it gets published. We want to keep you out of realtor jail. We want to keep ourselves out of realtor jail. Any other questions, guys?
That was great, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for joining. And let's see, I'm going to put my information in the chat so that you guys have my email as well as my cell phone number. So if you guys have questions after this, let me know. I'm happy to be a resource for you guys and help in any way that I can.
Thanks, Justin.
Absolutely.
Hey, Michael had to jump off for a call, so that's not really him up in that little box.
I am not a cat.
Yeah, that's right.
Everybody see
So
that?
funny. So funny.
That is funny. So I don't know, did you guys have plans for further discussion after this? Should I make you the host, Vincent, or just end the meeting?
Do you guys have any questions? Radio
good?
silence. That's a no. Okay.
All right. So with that, I'll end the meeting since I'm still the host, and hope that was the plan.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Have a
you.
good
Thank you.
one.
Enjoy the beach. Bye, guys.
Thank you.